Okay, good afternoon. I'll give you an update on injuries here, and then we'll get rolling with your questions. Dalton Kincaid and then Fedarian Mathis, neither will practice today. Christian Benford, TB, Joey Bosa, Taron Johnson, Cam Lewis, Khalil Shakir, Shaq Thompson, Dorian Williams, all will be limited. And then AJ Epinesa, just giving you the update on guys who were out that should be back today in full. So AJ, Joshua Palmer, Jordan Phillips, and then TJ Sanders will be practicing in full today. And then Landon Jackson will be placed on IR. So that's what I have for you. Time's yours.
You feel confident on Palmer being able to get through the week and maybe get back here to work on Sunday?
Yeah, the reports that we've gotten from our medical staff have been just that he's looking like he's on schedule and ready to go. We'll know a little bit more today when I can get my eyes on him and go from there.
And with that, with Dalton being out, it seems like a pretty important time for him to get back. Would you agree he's kind of important to get back at this point?
Sure. Yeah. Agree.
Okay.
Agree. No, I mean I do. Different position though, Sal, right? But yeah, I mean gives us speed on the field, which is important, and a guy that's had some production for us. I know he's missed the last few games, but it's good to have him back.
What's Mathis' injury?
Upper body, it's shoulder related. I don't have all the information on it yet, so he'll miss today. We'll see how long he's out.
You mentioned Khalil, an update on that. Did that happen during the game?
Yes, yeah. At some point, I didn't find out about till after the game, John there. So ribs, related to his ribs. So.
Hey, Sean, looking at some of the metrics that are at least available to us in the media, it looks like your linebacker core has had some difficulties this year. Could you maybe expound on what you're seeing from that group, and specifically maybe Bernard, who seems to be having a tough time so far? I don't know if it's true, but tell us.
No, yeah, I mean, it's overall, we can all do better in some ways, and he does a great job leading our defense with the communication and the operations, Sal, and that's an important piece. But overall, it's been at times for the whole group, I think, just working through some injuries, working through some of the continuity pieces when guys have been out. When you play next to someone, you want to be playing next to the person that you're playing next to that you worked with in practice, and that's been a challenge. But beyond that, we can all do some things better, and TB is very well aware of it.
Can you reflect back to a long time ago, 2018, but Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen were part of that class. What do you make of what Baker Mayfield has done for himself in what's been a bit of a winding career?
Yeah, very impressed, and happy for him. He's a heck of a player. It was kind of hard to watch when the first situation unfold the way it did, because you just have so much respect for him and his level of play and what he's capable of, and it's a great, to me, example of and I don't know everything, but just how the journey is the journey, and when you stick with it, and you kind of get yourself in the right spot, and how he's played and his impact then, I'm sure, in terms of the example that he is, just even beyond the playing field, right? As a person, I hear stories about his faith, and super impressed by that, and that's what you want to see, right? That's what you want to hear, and that's good for our league, and it's good for, I'm sure, the community down there as well.
What makes him so impactful? I'm not trying to compare him. I'm not sure if you can compare him to what Josh does, but what makes him so impactful versus what Josh does, I guess?
Yeah, no, I don't want to get into the comparisons. That's not fair to either of those guys. Both are great players. It's going to be a heck of a game Sunday, and you got two good teams and two great quarterbacks. So we have a ton of respect for their team, their coaching staff, Baker in this case, and it's a tough deal. So we got to prepare here.
Sean, what do you hope Mecole Hardman can bring to your team?
Yeah, excited about that. It's you look at position flexibility. He brings some of that, and the speed element is real, having gone against him. And so, he hasn't played in a little bit of time here, so we got to take it one day at a time, albeit. But I'm really interested in seeing how he's going to help us.
You talk about competition, you and Brandon all the time. You have Mecole now on the practice squad. You have Gabe, I know, managing expectations. But is the hope that maybe those guys on the practice squad compared with those in the active roster can kind of ignite each other to raise the group as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, it's about, again, just as many guys as we can get that can help us, and iron sharpens iron, as it says, right? So one guy has one skill set, the other guy has another skill set, and we piece it all together to week, put a winning combination out there, and I think that's the vision at the end of the day, right?
Signing Morgan Fox today, what do you think he brings?
Yeah, similar. Yeah, veteran player. Excited to watch him today. It's been a little bit of time, since he's played as well, so we got to take our time with that. But position flexibility, plays hard. But I'm interested in watching him today as well.
You guys met with him yesterday, I think, on the tryout. What's he been up to over the last couple of months since he left Atlanta?
That's a question for him. I mean, I haven't really been. I wouldn't know enough to be able to comment on that. So.
How did you see that? I guess the cast kind of impact Joey in that game in Miami. What does it say about him that he fought through?
Oh yeah, I mean, when you go out there and you have, as I mentioned, we call the Q-tip, you're playing with one full arm and hand, and then the other is just your arm. So, but the way he battled through it, I mean, making tackles, is hard enough in the league, let alone when you have really only one use of, one hand's fingers. So he's playing with 5. Most people play with 10, give or take, or Ronnie Lott, So it's hard. I mean, playing defense, to be good at defense, you got to use your hands, right? So I was very impressed. I really appreciate his grit, his toughness, and he was battling out there. He really was. So, the Q-tip is not easy to function with as a defensive player in particular.
What do you make of the defensive line in general, just how they're navigating all these injuries, what they're still able to do, or what you're projecting they can do this Sunday?
Yeah, well, we'll see what they can do. TJ, we'll see how he looks today and things, and it's the next man up, right? They continue to battle, and last week we lose AJ and Michael before that, but Javon Solomon steps in and does a phenomenal job in his role. I mean, we're out there in 2 minutes, and he had to sub in at D tackle for us, and he did a great job. I mean, they tried to change the style of offense they were running when they were in 2 minutes before the half, and he does a heck of a job playing defensive tackle in a 2-point stance, albeit. So it's I really appreciate those guys. I mean, that's where it starts. Up front, as I've always said, my dad was a D-line coach, so I remember years and years of him, with his players, and that's the blood, sweat, and tears of the defense right there. That's where it starts right there. So it's something that's near and dear to my heart.
How much have guys been practicing the position flexibility before these injuries? Was that always a part of practice, or is that a necessity now?
We try and dabble in that from time to time if there is a vision for a player to do both. When you're in a situation like we got into last week, we try and contingency plan. If this player goes down during the game, where are we going? How are we going to handle it? And we knew that was one of the conversations we had going into last week's game of, hey, if we lose an end, who's going outside? Who's going to kick out? And then DQ had to do it, of course. So appreciate that as well. And DQ didn't blink and went at it full speed. So and that's where some of the guys who have the position flexibility can help us, and that's important, especially as you go through the course of the season.
How eager are you to see this team respond from, I guess, a clunker?
Yeah, well, I'm anxious to get us out here on the practice field and see how we do today. It's really about our day to day and how we approach and attack today. So it's Wednesday for us, and I'm looking forward to the energy. I'm looking forward to seeing us establish that collective mindset as we go into this week.
Do Do you have an update on Marcus West? Is he back?
He's back, first day today, which is a blessing. And it's great to have him back. And like I said before, he's, healing. And I should give a shout out to Alyssa Lee, one of our assistant trainers who stayed with him, cared for him. And I think it's a great, to me, example of, being there for one another. And Alyssa was great in helping him get back up here. And so I'm very grateful for her.
Sean, it was starting to get better there for a couple of games, but the tackling was an issue again in Miami. Have you been frustrated by the inconsistencies that you guys have had this year?
You know what, Sal? I never like bad tackling. Don't get me wrong. Last week we knew going in it was going to be a challenge. Shane is elite, one of the tops in making people miss. So, but that said, we were in position to make tackles and we didn't make it. So, going back to the drawing board this week, and it's something that if you don't work it, you can't expect to get it fundamentally. So, every week we work it. Every week it's on the to-do list, and it'll continue through the rest of the season.
Sean, it seemed like last year you really had an identity on offense week to week, Do you still feel that's the case now, or is that like an ever-evolving thing as to who you want to be?
I think we're finding ourselves a little bit. Again, the mention of different wide receivers in there and this and that, and some guys out due to injuries, some not, and it's not what you want, but it's okay. We got to continue to find our best combinations, if that makes sense, Mike, right, with who gives us the best chance to win, and where can we find the rhythm in the passing game and whatnot. But overall, we've had it at times, and then other times, it hasn't been there. So we gotta find that again and then stay with it. But through the course of a season, you're always making adjustments and tweaking things so that you say, hey, who are the right people that we want on the field in this situation and or another situation.
You've had to get ready for Baker Mayfield only a couple times. But how have you seen him prepare for him, or game planning for him over the arc of his career? How much has that changed?
Well, naturally, Tim, when you're with different systems, it changes. That's the obvious piece. Baker overall has always had a certain skill set. So you're always having to prepare for that, no matter if it was, when he was in Cleveland or now in Tampa. So, and that skill set that he brings to the table is elite.
Mentally, attitude. I can't think of a better word than attitude, but I know that's a word that I think we agree on what the meaning of that is, wherever elusiveness. Preparing for a quarterback's attitude, what is that like? Because some you do and some you don't. This guy you do.
He's got it. Yep, he's got it, and we've got to bring that. If you want to beat him, you got to bring that. But even aside from playing Baker, it's an every week thing. If you want to be good at something, you got to bring a certain attitude and a certain passion and a certain commitment to the table. Whether you're a football coach, a football team, or any walk of life, whatever job you're doing, no different for you guys, I'm sure. You got to bring a certain level of passion to the job. Good? All right, thank you.